discovery shines upon us. Upon the mountains we've climbed, the horizons we've searched. We felt the wind and the wonder. You've helped us to wonder. You've given us hope. You've given us dreams. You've shown us the sky. You've given us wings. May that light forever shine. May our dreams be fulfilled. May we know truth. May we feel love. May we all find our way in this world. And by the light of this new morning, from the dawn of this new day, may we see through your eyes, show us the world, show us the way.
Well, be seated. Let me welcome you all to the fall commencement exercise for the graduating class of 1989. And let me, on behalf of the graduates, thank all of you who traveled great distances to be here and to share this day with them. And to make that day as enjoyable as possible, feel free to take pictures as you need to. Try not to get trampled by the activities that are going on, but don't feel constrained not to come forward and get the kinds of photographs that you want. Our speaker this morning was appointed to his position as the administrator of the Western Pacific region of the FAA in September of 1988. In this position, he oversees 5,500 employees and all FAA activities in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Hawaii, as well as the FAA's Pacific Rim operations. He's an engineer by education and experience, and he is an active commercial pilot. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you the FAA's Western Regional Administrator, Mr. Jerry Chafkin. Jerry?
My coiffure got messed here. Chancellor Daly, Mrs. Daly, my host, distinguished guests, faculty, graduates. First, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank Chancellor Daly for the honor bestowed me by the invitation to be today's guest speaker. And I'd be remiss if I failed to mention the warm hospitality afforded me while I've been on the campus of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Now, today is a great day. A lot of hooping, a lot of hollering. A day that many of you look forward to in anticipation of the future. There are, however, some of you who are somewhat apprehensive and concerned. Not that confident that your goals and dreams will see fruition in a world that is rapidly changing. I'm personally excited about the future and the challenges that those in aviation face. One of my critics over there, I see. Doesn't like bureaucrats. I understand that. Sure you're not a congressman from one of my states over there? Change and the effects of change are really the fiber that's made our chosen profession of aviation the driving force in the world's economy. You know, we talk about visionaries of the past, the fathers of commercial, military, and space flight. The Wright brothers, General Billy Mitchell, Dr. Robert Goddard, countless others. Now, they saw a future for aviation in space that few of their contemporaries understood or even believed possible. Even today, ideas that only yesterday were fictional have become accepted facts of our daily lives. It's just a moment in history that most of us have lived through, except you. 30 years since the first commercial jet flight. 30 years. Last year, 450 million passengers flew in our air transportation system. You have to consider for a moment that many advances made in science were made as a direct result of the space program, which until President John F. Kennedy was in office, languished for a champion in the halls of Congress. Today you see photographs taken by Voyager on its travels around the universe and wonder what lies beyond our solar system. In our lifetime, we've placed men on the moon, returned them safely to Earth. The technology that's been developed to support men and women in space has come into all our lives. Close to us in aviation is the glass cockpit of our modern jetliner. It's just but a simple example of the flow of new technology. Now, while we consider the great strides of mankind in the exploration of our solar system, we should never forget that the first step to space is aviation. And it is a great day for aviation. The world is shrinking economically and demands faster and more efficient air transportation. The world in which we travel from New York to Tokyo on flights that take place on the outer fringes of our atmosphere, and at speeds unheard of just a very short time ago. Last week, I returned from a trip to the Orient to visit my FAA offices and to talk to the folks in Singapore and Tokyo. When you take a trip like that, you learn firsthand about explosion in travel to the Far East and the Pacific Rim, the fastest growing air transportation market in the world. We used to have, a year ago, 6 flights a day from U.S. carriers into Singapore. This summer, we'll have, 6 flights a week. This summer, we'll have 6 flights a day. That part of the world is exploding. Airmen are needed. With the introduction of the new Boeing 747-400, nonstop flight is possible for distances that we just dreamed about 30 years ago. 14-hour flights in Boeing 747-400s from Singapore to London, nonstop. Challenges exist to meet the ever-increasing demand of air travel. We have to modernize our air traffic control system. We have to provide greater margins of safety for the traveling public. We have a multi-million-dollar program underway to do this, but additional runways have to be built or aviation will be stymied in the United States. This is a great day to begin a career in aviation. We face a crisis in meeting the demands of the 21st century that few of us truly understand the magnitude of. Secretary of Transportation Sam Skinner has been hosting public forums around the nation to seek input from private citizens as well as the industry for a national transportation policy to carry us into the 21st century. That policy will affect all of you. It will clearly depict that aviation has a major role to play in the continued economic development of the nation and the world. With the deregulation of the airline industry has come unparalleled growth and demand for air services that stretches our assets to the limits. Manufacturers are accepting orders for aircraft in unprecedented numbers, but they're unable to deliver sufficient quantities to meet the demand. Aircraft engineers are needed and are going to continue to be needed in large numbers to meet the demands for aircraft design and manufacture. In fact, today the aviation industry is facing what I term a general personnel crisis. Not just for pilots and engineers, but for technicians as well. For airframe and power plant technicians necessary for the manufacture and maintenance of today's sophisticated aircraft. World War II pilots are leaving the cockpit. The FAA's H-60 rule forces pilots out of the cockpits in large numbers as a result of today's explosion in air transportation. There's going to be a fresh supply of new pilots needed, and we're looking for you. We're looking for you to enter the pipeline to carry us into the next century. You know, new ideas are needed. You can't just come in and do the same old thing. Young, fresh minds that have visions and dreams for the future and are prepared to test those ideas in the face of skepticism and doubt from the old guard. The talents, skills, and education that you've gained as students here at Embry-Riddle are needed by our industry so that we can overcome the challenges of the coming year. Now, as you go forward in your careers, always ask why. Press for the answer why. Why do we do things this way? Challenge the system to explain why. Challenge old bureaucrats like me and ask us why. Maybe we forgot. Maybe the reason is no longer valid. Maybe it's in need of updating. Explore possibilities. Yesterday's possibilities are today's realities. Finally, never stop learning. Education is the key to the future, and it will open warehouses of knowledge for all mankind. I congratulate you on the significant achievement of your graduation. You're the new generation that will be faced with the challenges and an even greater opportunity in an aviation industry whose growth knows no limits. Your creativity and ideas will shape the future of aviation for the many years ahead and into the 21st century. Now that concludes my prepared remarks. But I'm going to add about 3 minutes of something personal to you. I have a boy 27 and a girl 24. They both graduated college in the last 5.5 years. I attended both of their commencements. For the life of me, I can't remember who their commencement speakers were. And to get right down to the point, I haven't the foggiest notion what they talked about. And I'm sure neither do my kids. Because you're excited today, sure you've tried to listen, sure I've said some things about aviation for you, but I'd like to leave you with just a few thoughts that maybe you will remember, and they're personal thoughts. In FAA, there are 46,000 people. There are 20 of us, regional administrators and associate administrators, who run the FAA. We got there by first setting goals, and that's the first thing I'd like you to remember. As you go forward from today, set goals for yourself. There'll be obstacles. Some you'll go over, some you'll go around, and some you'll go through. But there'll be obstacles. But set goals, short-term and long-term, and then set the path that you're going to take to get to those goals. Because you won't achieve what you want to achieve if you don't have a plan, if you haven't thought out where your goals are. Secondly, and just as important, is believe in yourselves. Have self-confidence. Believe in yourself and think that you can do whatever it is you want to do. You know, I'm a sports fan. And I don't know how many of you watched the Los Angeles Rams play the San Francisco 49ers the other night, but Joe Montana was down 3 touchdowns. There wasn't but about 6 or 7 minutes left in that game. Joe Montana never loses his self-confidence, his self-esteem. His leadership goes with it, and he drove the 49ers to beat the Rams that night. If you're a tennis player, you've seen it on a tennis court, you've seen it golf. If you teach aviation, you see the difference between a student who has confidence and one who doesn't. As you go forward in your life, like yourselves, think a lot of yourselves. Believe in yourself. And third, the third thought I'd like to leave you with, and I saw it here today, but it's easy to lose. Keep your sense of humor. I'll tell you, if somebody ever describes any one of you as humorless, step back and say, I've got to change that. You got to laugh, you got to smile. You're going to get into a lot of tough situations. Aviation puts you there. But there's a little bit of humor in almost anything. So keep your sense of humor. So I've talked a lot about grandiose things about aviation, but the 3 thoughts I want to leave you with are very simple. Set your goals, go down the path, and go get them. Like yourself. Have confidence in yourself. Be the Joe Montana out there when you're behind 3 touchdowns. And go ahead and beat the Los Angeles Rams. I'm a San Franciscan, by the way. And third, for God's sake, don't lose your sense of humor. Thank you very much.
We're so excited we may just cancel the rest of the morning and set our goals and get on to them. Each graduating class picks one of their own to represent them and speak for them to you. So it's my privilege here to introduce the senior class speaker, Robert Hinault.
Good morning. I'd like to take this time to welcome all the families and relatives, students, alumni, faculty and administration, as well as all of our honored guests. Welcome to our day. My parents didn't know I would be doing this today, and I wish you all could see him back there. I haven't seen him cry like that since I asked my fall tuition check. Most of you have probably noticed that the back half of our graduates here will probably be the noisiest throughout the ceremony. Some schools have fraternities and sororities to run their social life. Well, we have air science students. Well, we've had a long time for this, haven't we? For some of us, it's been 4.5 years here at Embry-Riddle. And you know, some critical things have happened during those 4.5 years. Well, in 1985, they decided to make our campus a dry campus. In 1986, they built us our snack bar. In 1987, they invented grass at Embry-Riddle West. In 1988, we finally broke the 10-to-1 ratio here at Embry-Riddle. Now, 1989 came along, and 1989 has been a good year for the faculty here on campus. From the Air Science Department in 1989, Dick Samuels finally started instructing 104 students on the proper execution of the inverted double rat's ass. How did that go? Kind of like this kind of thing here? John Hawley fulfilled his lifelong dream and got a ride on the weather service balloon. It's been a great year for the business department here on campus as well. In 1989, Dr. Harrell finally reached 5'2". And let's not forget the humanities department here on campus, where it was found out that our campus liberal, Pete Quigley, actually voted for Ronald Reagan. Where is he going? Oh, not me. No way. From the engineering department in 1989, Dr. Harrison finally tucked in the back of his shirt. And our Professor Broadhurst finally bought his very first tie for tonight. One great year it's been. A lot of those time over those 4.5 years have been spent on campus. And while walking around, I've seen some interesting things I think I need some explaining. For instance, who decides where the grass goes on campus? Got a spot here, spot there. And who gave all the close parking spots to the faculty members? And who got rid of our study day? Probably the same guy who put finals on weekends. Why is it that walkways on campus always go in directions that you don't want to go? And finally, where is the Spruce Goose engine? All joking aside, I really think it's important for us to realize what we've done. The National Almanac says that 87% of the people over the age of 20 in the United States have never done this before. I guess you can say that we're in the top 13% of our country. We have set a goal, and today we have reached that goal. That ability to set a goal, to work hard, and to reach that goal is an essential part of our personalities. This ingredient should never be removed or forgotten. For some of us, this goal started some 4 or 5 years ago as a small flame inside of us. Over the years, it's grown into a desire, a need, or a passion that has culminated into this here today. Nobody can take this away from us. Yeah. You can't say that about many things in our lives, but you can say that about the education, the knowledge, and the achievements this represents. With this solid base, I truly feel we can make some great changes. Which makes me think back to our freshman orientation when our Chancellor Daly stood in front of us young and naive freshmen and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, someday you will be the movers and the shakers of this country." Well, I think we're ready. So let's start shaking and let's start moving. Thank you.
Graduating, we have 3 with us today who will also be commissioned in the United States Air Force. At this time, I'd like to call Cadets Bone, Chang, and Quinn forward. For your information, Cadets Bone and Cadet Chang will both be assigned to undergraduate pilot training. Cadet Quinn, an engineering graduate, is having her assignment literally work today. We have high expectations and hopes for her to be assigned to the United States Air Force Space Command. I state your full name.
I, Prescott,
Having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
Second Lieutenant in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same.
and allegiance to the same.
I take this obligation freely,
Take this obligation freely,
without mental reservation
without mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
Hello, Cadet Rebecca Cochran. Please come. Cadet Cochran is our first female graduate to be commissioned in the United States Army.
She's also the first to be commissioned other than in the fall, in the spring that is. She's the 7th commissionee in the Army program.
I, Rebecca Kaufman,
Having been appointed officer in the Army of the United States
having been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States
in the grade of 2nd lieutenant,
in the grade of second lieutenant,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will bear that I will discharge the duties of this office
that I will discharge the duties of this office
that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of this office
that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of this office
on which I'm about to enter.
on which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Will the candidate for Associate in Science degree in Aeronautical Science please come forward?
Kelly Ann Kelly.
Will the candidate for Bachelor of Science degree in Aeronautical Studies please come forward?
Mark Wayne Dickey. Terry Kevin Dooley. William Kent Edwards.
Wilbur!
James Marsh. Joseph Ryan Orona. Lisa Catherine Thierry. Graduating magna cum laude, Chris Eugene Thomas. David Kenneth Wright.
Will the candidate for Bachelor of Science degree in Aeronautical Engineering please come forward?
Vincent Joseph Archuleta. Douglas Wayne Bradbury. Daniel James Ehlers. Michael Dennis Hyman. Robert Neil Hunnell. Leonard William Lassard. Robert Hunter Matthews. Bren Alex McBride. Mickey I. Patel. Graduating magna cum laude, Michael Thomas Perry. Graduating cum laude, Second Lieutenant Chris Diana Quinn. Graduating cum laude, Troy Nathaniel Tevis. Wilhelm Wieland.
Will the candidates for Bachelor of Science degree in Professional Aeronautics please come forward?
Richard Francis Agresto. Mark Robert Aldred. Graduating summa cum laude, Tim B. Gardner. Graduating cum laude, Glenn Masterson. Graduating cum laude, Gary A. Nord. Mark H. Pinkington.
Will the candidates for Bachelor of Science degree in Aviation Business Administration please come forward?
Second Lieutenant Rebecca Cothra. Charles Corey. Randall L. Jackson. Antonia Marie Marquis. Miguel Alberto Quijano.
Will the candidates for Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Science with Aviation application please come forward?
Second Lieutenant Sung S. Chang. John Bradley Collins. Michael Henson Fry.
Will the candidates for Bachelor of Science degree in Aeronautical Science please come forward?
What a rowdy crew, huh? Here you go.
That's the first swing. About 10 down, 9 down.
Graduating cum laude, Jennifer A. Babin. Donald Braden Ballsley. Kevin Barry Beeman. Gregory David Beauclair. Second Lieutenant Frederick Howard Bone. James Arthur Brady. Daniel Dwayne Brand. Demian David Brooks. George H. Capron. Terrence Michael Costello. Frederick Edward DeWitt. William Wilson Douglas III. Graduating cum laude, Michael Robert Dutra. Mark Christopher Ford. Ashley Fleming. John Patrick Gallagher.
Thank you.
Mark Robert Gower. M. Treese Harmon. David Atala. Lynn Allen Hawkins. Lloyd Franklin Hedges II. James Charles Heidemann. Eric William Herb. Amy Elizabeth Herbert. Thomas M. Hoffman. Jeffrey Scott Joy. Scott Jason Urich. Dennis Ketchum. Jeffrey Scott Koch. Pamela Blair Corsham. Jeffrey Allen Krause. Reed V. McCosham. Brenda Yvonne Modest. Greg Mason Maxwell. J. David Milheiser. Matthew Hooker Murray. David Ray Nixon. Joanne Marie Norbert. John James Odell. Grant Christopher Perkins. Mark Tucker Perry. Ricky Martin Salvador. Richard Dean Sampson. Robert L. Scipione. Todd Christian Sundberg. William Joseph Walsh. Peter Jan Visa. Troy Daniel Williams. Samuel Eugene Willis. Jerry William Wortley Jr.
Will the candidate for the degree of Master of Aeronautical Science please come forward?
Fred John Calfior. Robert A. Flowers. Francis Hugh McGee. Nancy Jean Rogers.
Will the candidate for the degree of Master of Business Administration in Aviation please come forward?
Rhett Ferguson. Truman Johnson Heading III. Theodore C. Thomas.
Will all the candidates for degrees please rise? Mrs. Barrett, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the university, it is my honor to present you the candidates for graduation.
By the authority. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you, as appropriate, either the Associate of Science degree, the Bachelor of Science degree, or the Master of Science degree, with all rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations, you're graduates.
Well, now as alumni, you can take your seats. There are a few special awards which I'd like to bring attention to at this time. 3 of them were awarded at departmental ceremonies previously, but I would like to recognize the individuals who received their degree program department's selection as outstanding graduates. And I'd ask each to stand and you could pay your respect to that selection. As the Outstanding Aviation Business Administration graduate for the fall of 1989, Rebecca Costa. And the Outstanding Aeronautical Science graduate for fall '89, Tom Hoffman. And the Outstanding Aeronautical Engineering graduate for fall '89, Chris Quinn. There must be something in the comparison of the graduation speakers' reference to a 10-to-1 ratio and a 2-to-1 ratio at this particular time. Another award, which is given not at every graduation because there are times when people don't qualify for it, but then most of the time there are more than enough candidates and it's a very difficult decision to decide who should receive the Chancellor's Award at the commencement exercise. and a panel of people representing student affairs and academic affairs and other parts of life on campus make the selection for me, and it's my privilege to announce that selection at the graduation exercise. And I really don't know till I reach down here and hopefully find a plaque just who that graduate is. There was a time I reached down and there was no plaque. But I'm kind of glad I didn't have to give the oath of office today. We're going to invite the Marines and Navy at the... This particular award is given to the student in the graduating class who represents the highest level of academic achievement and campus involvement. And it's my pleasure to announce that at the fall 1989 graduation, the Chancellor's Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement and Dedicated Campus Involvement is presented to Chris D. Quinn. To remind her of that, in aviation circles, the eagle is thought of as the supreme bird, and with that in mind, I'd like to add to the plaque this trophy, an eagle symbolizing her outstanding performance. While Embry-Riddle can trace its heritage back over 60 years, the Prescott campus is just looking back slightly over a decade. And there are a lot of firsts in our life over that decade. As was pointed out, the first grass showed up a few years ago. The next award that I have to present, the next honor that I have to annotate, is one that has not been given before from this campus, and in fact has only been given once previous throughout the entire university. And I'd like to ask our retired professor, Fielding McGee, to come up to the platform with me, if he would, for a minute. Fielding retired after the spring semester last year and has been enjoying his retirement, as well as the way he enjoyed the decade or more that he was here on the campus with us. He was among the first faculty members when the campus opened its doors, so he knows the history from that time. I'd first like to read a letter. Dear Dr. McGee, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Mathematics Physical Sciences Department and the Faculty Council of the Prescott campus, I have the privilege of appointing you to the rank of Professor Emeritus of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Your 11 years of distinguished service to the university have made you deserving of this special recognition. Your contribution to the growth of Embry-Riddle and to its students have set an example that future faculty members of this institution would do well to emulate. Congratulations on attaining this significant achievement in your career, and best wishes for many rewarding years in your retirement. Sincerely, John W. Williams, Jr., Ph.D., Executive Vice President, Academics. Gets a diploma here that he can use like yours. In recognition of his 11 years of distinguished service to the university, Fielding M. McGee, Ph.D., is hereby designated and appointed to the rank of Professor Emeritus of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and is hereby accorded all the rights and privileges thereto, given this 16th day of December 1989. Ken L. Tallman, President.
me an opportunity to talk again. But I don't have Captain McKean's savoir-faire to recover from a bad situation there. I brought in some notes. Now, this is what I wrote up, is what I'd like to say, but given the time and I'm not going to do that. But let me just admit my indebtedness to certain groups here that have made this 11 years the best of a very long time. I had about 20 years out in business and industry. I have 18 years now of education. This 11 years has been the best of the time, I do believe, overall. To the administration, I found it very stimulating, and those of you of the faculty and staff here know what I mean by that. The staff, the support staff here has been a great pleasure to work with. I'm not going to call any names because there's not time for that kind of a thing. The faculty, it says something for us that I believe the faculty is as pleased with this award as I have been. I thank all of them for their help. The students. Maybe I should say first, the faculty, the parents of these students who sent us these young people. These students have come in ready to advise me as to what they needed to know and how I should teach it to them. Some of them have liked physics so much that they've taken it over and over again. The class speaker mentioned 4.5 years for some of them. I believe some of them have been on a 10-year plan. I have a tremendous debt to my department chairman, who have supported me over the years, more perhaps than I should have been, but have done. You students, I've been working for you for a long time. I'm hoping to get a chance to come out to campus from time to time to fill in again. Parents, I think I've worked more than the students have at times. 70-hour week was the norm there, and now I've cut back to only 40 hours a week for retirement. I hope you students will have 3 things in particular as you go away from here. One, that you're going to get some very demanding bosses in the near future. Somebody who will force you to work to your limits. Second, I hope you have some very challenging positions. And third, I'm a very old-fashioned fellow, so this may come as a shock, as a wish for you, but I hope you will find a spouse who will stick to you over 16 jobs, 23 moves, whatever, for the 43 years that I have been fortunate. Thank you.
Well, we're winding down now. We're about done. But I think there are 2 groups in the audience that I would like to see get some more special recognition, and on behalf of the students, former students, now alumni, ready to be appealed to. I'd like the families and supporters of these young people to stand and receive their thanks for the effort and support that you've given them over these last years. And then finally, one other group who deserve special praise regarding this special day. Those people who labored in the classroom for 4 and 5, sometimes 6 years to help these students achieve their goals. I'd like the faculty to stand. We know how much their effort, how sincerely the reality of this educational process rests on their shoulders. And then finally, I'd like to thank Barbara and Jerry for coming so great distances to be with us and to add their support to today and perform the tasks that we asked them to. Jerry come from Los Angeles and Barbara up from Phoenix, and they'll be returning almost immediately. But we will all have a chance to get together at a reception hosted by the Women's Club on campus, which will be held in the gymnasium. It's off to my right. You can, I think, find your way pretty clearly to that building just by leaving in the back and going out to the left-hand side of the building. So off to my right is the gymnasium. We all look for the opportunity to meet with each other and to take another step in a wonderful day. Thank you all.
I think it's appropriate to send this class off with a prayer. Congratulations, everybody. Please observe a moment of silence and bow your heads. Our Father, we humbly bow our heads at this, the close of our formal education. We thank you for the blessings of health and integrity which were necessary to attain our graduation. We pray for guidance to meet the obstacles that come before us. Father, let us work every day as if it were the first, yet tenderly treat the lives that we touch as if they will all end at midnight. We ask that we may know the meaning of peace in our lifetime as we journey quietly on our pathway to our careers. Amen.
Must have really.